Aloha, guys. Gosh, it's taking a little, StreamYard's going real slow today. It took a little while for it to get through to YouTube and say, I'm hitting the live button. So, but now the dogs are happy, so we should be good. So, yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Now, happy Monday. It is Monday. Yes, for some people, Monday is a Friday. Other people, it's Saturday. Sometimes it just depends what day off you have. But for me, it's a Monday. So, but hope you guys had a great weekend. I apologize for not being here last Friday. I don't know if it was a mistake to do all my vaccines on one day or not, but it was nice. I only got sick once rather than multiple days. Yeah. So, but I am back to normal now. And over the last few days, I've been trying to, in fact, I was talking, BC's in the house. Hello, BC. I was actually telling BC earlier, I've been trying to read and follow up on cases and stuff and not fall asleep. And yeah, it's hard to not fall asleep when you're fighting a fever. But I'm rested, that's for sure now. So, but today I wanted to come back and visit Estefani's case because there's a couple things in this case right now that are bringing up different feelings in me and different frustrations in me that I need to get out because the fact is we have another story out there right now of another girl who would have been termed a runaway who was found being trafficked. And God help us if that's going on with Estefani. How many other cases are out there? How many other runaways are out there right now dealing with the same exact thing? And no one cares because they got the word runaway attached to their name. So, but anyhow, before we get to that, QRPB, how you doing, my dear? First one in chat. About an hour before I went live, so I came on and I'm like, hey, and then we said, hey, BC, and there is Lioness. We'll see how we get notifications out to everyone. Guys, we're going to go back through Estefani's case. I have not done a one-off on Estefani. I've kind of had her updated in with other cases, and I wanted to focus more directly on her today. I am going to bring up this other case out of Michigan, just because to me, all of this needs to be thought of in the same frame of mind. Okay, we just talked about in Logansport. Okay, a young girl, okay, who was found 400 miles away near Hannibal, Missouri, on her way to be trafficked. And she was considered a runaway. Thank God the police considered that serious over there in Logansport. Thank God for Logansport thinking that way. And um, but in other cases, and one of those being Estefani here. Okay, and sorry, it's going to take a little. There it is, Estefani here. Again, we're being considered runaway. People aren't taking it seriously, and what is going on right now, especially the trolls have come out in this case on one level. On the other level, we've had a lot of BS happen that is affecting the case now. This case is about a missing teenager. Plain and simple. It's a missing teenager. The police should be looking into who did what, not us. Yes, we are going to make speculations. We are going to have questions. That's normal human thought process. It's normal human, even me. I'm like, okay, I want to figure this out. Okay, what happened here? Well, why did this happen? Why did that happen? But in the end, we're here to make sure that someone finds Estefani. That's all. That is literally it. And yes, and that's why I pulled up the whole comment here today. When do advocacy and awareness clash? Or do they clash? I ask people in chat as you come in, do you think they clash? Can one get in the way of the other? Because I don't know. I think sometimes I'm beginning to think they do. If you look at, okay, and not to change the subject into Sebastian or things like that, but you get into this case where we get so focused on the story, we forget what it's about to begin with. In his case, a young boy who has been missing for way, way freaking too long. Okay. And I don't know at this point. Okay. Some people have brought up some great comments in that. Okay. With, do some people, have some family members realize the best way to keep your loved one in the public's eye is to play into the three-ring circus that true crime becomes? That's sad. That's sad if a family has to literally become part of the circus just to make sure people don't forget their child or their wife or husband or mom or dad, because they should not have to be entering a three-ring circus just to get the word out. So what I wanted to do is look at this again today, go through the facts. I know there's a lot of questions in this case. I got a piece of paper here ready to go. Notes on a bunch of other sides, but on this side of this paper is set for questions. And if there are questions that I can't answer or people in the chat can't answer, I'll see if I can get the answers to them, because I are important. And yes, the longer we can talk about someone, the more it keeps their people in the public eye. But we can't, lioness, right? Advocacy can't hinder awareness. Awareness takes top billing every single time. Okay, yes, advocacy can help with awareness. But unfortunately, yeah, it becomes a blame game. This is not about blame. That's the police's job. That's law enforcement's job to figure out blame. We can wonder about it and stuff like that. But the moment we start beating up on other people based off of our speculation, we're wrong. And Thea, yeah, I agree with you. People lose the story and get caught up in other narratives, sometimes in the name of advocacy. And that's what's frustrating me. I started looking at Estefani's case literally the day it came out, the next day. And there's been a lot of questions in this case, a lot of misinformation. Okay, but if anyone has ever really followed true crime, those of you right now in chat, and QRPB's good. Hey, yay. Those of you who've been here long enough, how normal is it to have misinformation out there on the internet? Those of you who followed anything, follow the latest tragedy shooting or the latest news story or whatever in the world. How often is there misinformation in the heat of getting information out there? That's what we had happening in this case. Now, are there red flags out there? Yeah, I think there are some red flags. Are they red flags pointing out guilt? No, I don't think so, at least. Okay, the police can let us know if that's wrong or not. But we can't be hindering this investigation. Yeah, quite a bit. Every major case, there's everything falls misinformation like crazy. This case, Estefani's case, I have had to update this poster 3 times now. I just did it again because I just realized I had the wrong date on it. Guys, this is part of any breaking news, and I hate mentioning breaking news in missing people or true crime. Okay, because it's breaking news. No, to me it feels weird. And all, but anytime you have breaking anything, you have misinformation. There were multiple dates being given out for her going missing. There were reasons for that. And most people who saw those reasons and really looked at them are like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. How many times have I done a poster and had the wrong eye color on there, or wrong hair color, or wrong height or weight? Things happen like that all the time. So, and I don't know if sometimes people come in and they're new to true crime and don't realize how often that happens, or if people come knowing it happens but just want to stir up shit. Chris, how you doing, my dear? Hello, hello. By the way, Chris gave me a wonderful case that I'm going to update you guys on Friday as part of the week updates. So I really appreciate it. He sent me stuff because that's what I'm going to need for Fridays to do this news type. Okay, show. I'm going to be needing what is the breaking news throughout the week because I know I'm missing stuff. I'm sure I'm missing things. So thank you for that, my dear. So let's go back and let's start looking at Estefani's case. I want you guys to throw out your questions, what you've heard. Let me ask this real quickly in chat. Put a 1 in chat if you feel like you've been following Estefani's case. Put a 2 in chat if you're like, I know her name, or maybe I don't even know her name. Okay, but I don't know enough to really be able to contribute beyond, oh, wow, that's because anyone can contribute. All of us contribute, whether we know about a case or not, because we're going to learn about a case. And, but put a 1 in the chat if you feel you know enough about the case to help. Okay. Because there's some wonderful people. I mean, I've been having some great conversations with people in comment sections about this case. And so I'm just wondering how many. Okay, so we got quite a few 2s popping up. Okay. And there's BC. Yeah, BC's got a 1. She and I've been going back and forth talking on things too. And there's been a few others that I've been talking to in Exotic Prairie, a couple others in chat and discussion areas. So thank you for putting comments in there. I appreciate it. So, but before we start that, and while you're thinking exactly how much you know and all that, I want to pull this up because this is the reason why I am going to cover these cases until forever. Okay. This was just shared with me. Thanks, BC, by the way. Okay. 16-year-old reported missing in Phoenix. 16-year-old. You're going to find out in a second. She was in a halfway house. So I guarantee you she was seen as the runaway type. 16-year-old, prime age, someone who's in a halfway type house situation. Okay, so I guess you can consider troubled. So I'm sure she was thrown in that area. Well, she was may have been trafficked. Not once, but twice, it looks like. This is why I get worried about Estefani. She's that age where people would grab onto someone like that. And it's not up to us to figure out who would have done it. She's been gone way too long. Okay, to go missing on June 14th. And it's now July 1st. It's way too long. So, this went in. A 16-year-old girl was reported missing to the Phoenix Police Department earlier this year and has now been found in another state and may have been a victim of sex trafficking. The U.S. Marshals Service said the teenager was reported missing from a group home in April and had a history of being trafficked. That scares the hell out of me. Think of this poor girl. Okay, if she had a history of potentially being trafficked and she finds herself in that situation again, okay, and the helplessness and stuff like that she must have felt. And that's why we say runaways, people in this position are in danger, in more danger in my eyes than many other people. This is the perfect example of it, happening not just once, but possibly multiple times now. Okay, the teen was determined, okay, she had been, she left a group home or was missing from a group home in April. She was determined to be in LA, where her suspected trafficker was murdered on May 25th. The girl may have been taken to Miami by another trafficker. On June 11th, the teen was located in a hotel in Michigan. So, track that, guys, in your head. Phoenix, LA, LA, Miami, Miami, Michigan. Finally, in Michigan, okay, she's located and the male associate arrested. Homeland Security is continuing to investigate this suspected trafficking case. BC is saying average age for a runaway label. If she had been 2 years older, it would have been anyone can walk away. Exactly. You can't easily get away saying, oh, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old, they're allowed to run away because they're not allowed to walk away. But once you hit that age of 18, you're allowed to leave. So it's not a runaway anymore, but just as dangerous, because a 20-year-old or 21-year-old is in just as much danger. And yeah, Chris, there's always rogue advocates who can damage cases. We know them. We can list them off here. I'll be honest. I could sit here and actually list the names off one after another. Every one of us could do that. The teen's recovery is one of the reported cases during the Marshal Service recent Operation We Will Find You Part 2, a 6-week operation focusing on missing children that concluded on June 24th, a few days ago. The Marshal Service was involved in recovering 33 missing or endangered children from Arizona. Information, okay, and they got, so look at that. This is that age. Okay, this is that troubled kind of group that is like, well, they just run away. We can't do anything about it. And I agree, Chris, and that's why I didn't say their names, because in my eyes, their names shouldn't be out there. Plain and simple. Because they're using, in my eyes, they're using the children. They're using the adults. They're using the victims. And so yeah, I'm not going to give them that popularity of listing a name. So this is why I bring this up. Okay, and yeah, you've noticed 12-year-olds have been coming up missing a lot more. You noticed that too. I've noticed it used to be the runaway group that I was finding seemed to be the mid to the upper teenage group. And I've noticed that actually also, I hadn't said anything to you about that, but it seemed like there were a hell of a lot more 12-year-old, 13-year-olds popping up lately. And I don't know if that's because school just got out, maybe, because we do know that quote unquote runaway group does increase. And yes, they are runaways. But again, missing is missing. A runaway is missing. So it don't matter. And but I've noticed that also. That is interesting that you pop that up also. So okay, so let's move ourselves back towards Estefani now. So here we've got, okay, this young girl, okay, who went missing from the house her family used to live in. They were on their way, and we are going to go back through all that because it looks like the majority of you might not have the full story, and I want you guys to be able to get the whole story. I also want to make sure, because I'm hearing a lot of misinformation out there in this case. And misinformation is not good information whatsoever. Okay, it colors the way we see things. Okay, and it changes how focused we are in finding someone, to be honest, because it becomes about the story rather than the person. And we need to get it back to being on the person. And so getting rid of misinformation, number one, important. And so Estefani's case, like I said, and I do have a list, actually, I tried to put together a list of the big issues that have popped up with either red flags or misinformation or things like that, because I did want to, and like I said, if people have questions that pop up, let's write those questions out and see if we could get answers to those. Okay, rather than going and depending on something that might be misinformation. Let's clarify the information, and if we can, and because I do know that's also unfortunately in this case hard to do because of the fact this family came to the internet for help. This family came to Facebook for help. And when they got there, again, there is no book, no instruction book, no manual telling you your child has gone missing. This is what you do. These are the things you don't want to do. They didn't have that book because it does not exist. They reported her missing. Okay, no, not that I've heard of. And that's part of my concern is we do know talking is important because it gives a face to the person. It gives Estefani a face. It gives her a personality. And that's what's important. And there have been family members very involved. Her stepdad has been involved in explaining on Facebook. My understanding, okay, with what happened in this case is that when Estefani first went missing, they reported to the police. Okay, there's video, okay, which we've all looked at here, and we can look at it again, of her going around the house trying to plug in her phone and stuff like that. And then within that time, and about 45 minutes later, she disappeared. Mom woke up, looked around the house, couldn't find her. And immediately they got in their cars and started looking for her. Then they contacted the police, let the police know she was missing. She went missing on the 14th. It looks to me like the family went from the 14th until the about 19th or 20th trying to give the police the chance to look for their daughter, their sister. And unfortunately, during that time frame, not much happened. When I found out about this, I tried to find a poster, any poster. I found one. I thought it was an official poster or as close to official as we can. Well, no, we're finding out since then it was not an official poster, not even close. It was one the family had to put together because the police did not put out a poster. There was nothing. There was nothing out to the okay media. There was one comment real quickly on the Facebook site for the police, but that was it. So family get to this point where they're like, you know what, we need to get word out. What are we going to do? Well, you know what? When you go on the internet, like most people are, you type in missing children or missing kid, you're going to see all of these Facebook groups pop up, TikTok channels, these channels, all that. So they did, what a lot of families try to do. They started, hey, Seal, how you doing, my dear? And welcome back. And yeah, you know what? You'll get your detention later. Sorry, my dogs are driving. Hopefully, Crisp is working right now because my dog is being really noisy right now. And I do still have treats. I thought I had enough treats, but I did not. They started a Facebook group, okay, or someone they knew started a Facebook. Okay, they connected with someone. Someone opened up a Facebook group about her, and so is the Oklahoma police prejudice? You know, I don't know. I don't know what it is right now. All I know is this young girl, some of the stuff I'm hearing coming out of this, okay, with where she went missing from, I cannot believe that there's not more surveillance footage that could be looked at. I can't believe they haven't taken her phone and looked at her phone, okay, and checked to make sure there's not other stuff going on. Okay, if you go here and let me stop sharing this and pull this up instead to show you the area we're talking about. Um, this is the area she went missing. Okay, not a good area of town, guys. Not at all. A lot of boarded up homes from what I've heard. Okay, not the greatest area. But one thing I can tell you, I suspect there's a fair number of video cameras. Now, yes, I have heard that because of crime in the area, video cameras get pulled down a lot, and there's a problem keeping video cameras there. But have you ever been, for example, by a 7-Eleven without video cameras? I mean, look at all these Dollar General. Okay. Look at all these places. Even if she went missing, we don't know the exact location here. I don't have that. But here's a shopping center. You can't tell me they can't get video footage from these places. And yet the family was told the only place they could get video footage from my understanding, is the school. Doesn't make sense. So is it this does not exist, or is it no one is looking at it? And that's what scares me, is no one's looking at it, because guess what? It's a it's a young girl who had come back and was upset that she had to leave, where she used to live. So she ran away and all that. So it's just easier to deal with things that way. No, that's not acceptable. Arctic, yeah, that area of Oklahoma City is largely Hispanic, African American. Blows my law. Yeah, this should be, and I know, and why I wanted to address this today is because a lot of people are turning this into fighting and trolling and stuff like that about, well, the date changed 3 times, so the parents are behind this. Okay, or, oh, there's a brother-in-law who's an RSO, so they're behind it. Guys, that's up to the police to figure out. Is it a red flag? Hell yeah, it's a red flag. Big red flag. But it's not guilt. That's what the police find out. Our job is to make sure that the police continue doing their work. That we go to the mayor and say, hey, what's going on? Chief of police there looks like they just left. I just came across that right before I went live. That a couple days ago, maybe 6 days ago or something, the chief of police actually is not there. Seal, this is where my problem is. Actually, let me pull this up right now. Okay. So, and I may need to pull this up a little larger. So give me a second here. I wish I could do this differently. So when all this started out, you basically had a family that had reported their daughter missing. Around the 14th. On the 14th, she went missing. They reported to the police. A couple days later, 4 or 5 days later, there's no real movement on the case. Police have not come out to the house to interview people. They haven't come over to grab her electronics or anything. There's not much more than a quick comment on the Oklahoma City PD Facebook page. That's it. So they take things into their own hands and decide, we're going to hit up Facebook. We're going to hit up. And they did that. The problem is, as many of you guys know, and I know, there's a couple things you do not want to do when you come out to the public asking for help. Number 1 rule, don't ever put personal phone numbers on a poster. Use the police department's phone numbers. The reason for that is there are assholes out there who will then take that phone number and do everything in their power to make your life a living hell. They will call you and act like someone who has your child and tell you these horrible things they're doing to your child. They will do the most egregious, sickening, vile things to family that are hurting, family that are missing their child. And any one of us who've ever covered these stories know about this. But a family who has never had to deal with a missing child, they don't know this. So that's why those of us who help advocate, okay, bring awareness and all, we try to let people know as soon as we find out. I don't know how many times I've told a parent, okay, who's making a poster, don't put your phone number on it. Okay, put the police. I know you want to get tips coming in so you know what's going on, because sometimes you don't know what's on. The police don't tell you everything. And you think that way at least you gather the information also. Um that's number one question for my verify. Um and this is why I wanted to do this today, because everything I've heard is no. They never had the police show up at the house. I have not verified that with family though. And to me, a 100% verification is first person. It's from those in the immediate area. So, did law enforcement, and I'll get back to you guys. If I get answers on these, I'll post them back to the community tab. Come to house. But in general, everything that I've gathered up to now is no, they did not. But it's on the list now. Yeah, page turner, okay. School being out, summer being here, and we do know, I mentioned a second ago, okay, we do know runaways do increase during summer. They do. And the term runaway itself is not a problem. Okay, it's reality. What the problem is a runaway is still missing, and Mr. is missing. And it could be. And Arctic is saying the problem is that in so many missing cases, police won't even take a report, especially if it's a missing adult. So that leaves family with no choice but to put their number out. And that's a huge issue. That is a huge, huge issue. And something that I don't know at this point if there is ways of dealing with on legislation, finding out which police departments do that, and going to media or things like that to say, because you know what, you report someone missing, they should at least be taking the report. Okay, they may not do anything about it, but especially as a minor. Yeah. And but no, that's a fair one. And what's sad is with the families, we do know these families get tortured. And I'm going to use the word tortured. When you have an asshole calling you up on the phone and saying, hey, guess what? You know that daughter of yours? I've got her. She's in this room right now. You know what we're doing to her? What's happening to these? So when you hear people saying, well, I don't know why family have quieted, I don't know why family have gone private, that's why family gone private. Okay, people, and I don't know if that's what's happened. I know there's been phone calls made. I don't know the specifics, but I know that type of phone call happens because I've heard it from other families before. And that is vile. That is just plain out old vile. And so the family came out when this whole thing started, and they wanted to get the word out to everyone. Okay, and so they did that. Stepdad came out with a couple different comments. The first one, I'm going to read these out with you. This is my stepdaughter. We woke up to her missing. Last time she is seen is on our Ring camera at 3:15 this morning. We don't know if she ran away or stepped outside to get a charger for her phone. Now remember, in the video that we've seen, she is trying to charge her phone. You can see her pulling a power cord, okay, out from like a PlayStation or something, but she's trying to find the right cords to use, maybe trying to find, I don't know about you guys, I don't have one right here, but you know, the little blocks that you plug things in. I usually have to use like 5 or 6 different charging things to keep all my stuff charged when I'm going to bed at night. I've got my watch, I got my iPad, I got my iPhone, I've got this, I got, you know what it's like. That's what she had been doing. So family had wondered, could she have gone out to the car to get either a charging cable or one of those charging blocks maybe? They're trying to just figure things out in their head, you know. Okay. Could she have run away? Yeah. They used to live in Oklahoma City. Okay. And as such, they had moved away in January to Arkansas, and they were on their way back through Oklahoma City to Texas for a beach vacation. So they had come by and they decided to stay and pick up family in Oklahoma City and stay the night in their old house. And that's where they were. So it's possible, okay, especially initially, they would have thought maybe she did run away to be with some of her friends or something. So yeah, they thought of that. They thought maybe she went out to get her charger and someone was there. Again, this area of town, very possible that someone's walking away around. Very, very possible. Okay, and yeah, she's not even a teenager. She's 12. Yeah. Okay, back with this, the police have been no help. So they called the police. They did not feel, and you know what? Sometimes it's up to family to feel. Sometimes I think family think when they report something, they're going to get a lot more information than they do get. But sometimes I don't think family are given any information. And I kind of get that feeling in this case. Okay, it does look like her parents are not together. There's mom and dad, and then there's stepdad. Okay, there's a number, there's siblings. So yeah, there's definitely an extended family type situation here, I think, from what I'm getting there. That I do know. That we're talking that I don't know if there's a stepmom also, but there's definitely mom, dad, and stepdad. And wow, after reading their time investment, this family is, and that's the thing. This is my thing. People who are now saying, oh no, family are part of this and all that. They went 5 days before they came to Facebook. They came to social media asking for help. I have a hard time believing anyone is going to decide 5 days later, when the police aren't doing much of anything, okay, to make a point about all this if they were part of it. Not saying it can't happen, but I have a hard time believing that. Okay, Arctic is saying, my understanding from the stepdad is that initially yes, they thought she went to a boyfriend or ex-boyfriend's house. And I've got that picture, comment here. Police checked, and after that, after she wasn't there, they pretty much said, yep, sorry, nothing we can do about it at this point. She ran away. She'll show up again sometime. Now, let me remind you about that article I just read to you. Let me remind you about the teenager from Logansport who was being trafficked and found with 5 men in Hannibal, Missouri last week. Let me remind you, okay, about, okay, in Houston, Jocelyn. How many other cases are there? Has it been checked to see if she went to where she ran? Yes, they did. They did. What she did is, I think, and I could see this, she, from everything I had pulled together from my initial discussions about her, is that she seemed like a very good kid. Yeah, she's going into her preteens and all that stuff, and of course we know what happens there. We've all been through it. But very family oriented. Social life consisted of basketball and softball. But not necessarily out social butterfly type thing. And however, like any kid, it does not sound like she was really happy about leaving and moving in January from Oklahoma City to Arkansas. My understanding is during that time, the one time that her family could say, well, maybe you could, I wouldn't count it as a runaway, but maybe, would have been she had gone to stay with a ex-boyfriend or boyfriend or something like a guy she liked. And she was there for a couple hours and all that without telling anyone. And then she came back. Nothing ever like this. And also, of course, the police did check those areas immediately. Okay, they went to these friends' houses to find out. And when nothing happened, they're like, okay. So they came and they asked everyone, please, because 45 minutes is what it looked like that it took for her to disappear. Um Now the other, let me pull the other so I can read this next one. He said, please keep sharing. Now he has an update for everyone. With the detective assigned to the daughter's case, and in his own words, there's nothing they can do if she isn't at the boy's house we originally first thought she might have gone to, or the girl the boy suggests. So there was a possibility she was at a boy's house. And I guess the boy suggested, well, could have been at this girl's house. So they checked both places. I don't feel she ran away. She didn't take her clothes, her phone, or anything. The video shows her trying to. Oh, okay. She walked off out of the house, no shoes on, in her pajamas. Okay. She had just charged her phone, plugged her in. She did not take that phone with her. Okay, now, yes, if she was going to run away, it's very possible she would have left it. But would she have charged it first before running away? Okay, yeah, there's always coincidence, things like that. Yeah. Arctic, so your mom's best friend lives at Southwest 46. So you do kind of have an idea of the area. Thank you. Yeah, no shoes. Another no shoes case. How many no shoes are we going to find recently? It's driving me crazy. Um, I don't feel she ran away. She didn't take her clothes, phone, or anything. The video shows her trying to charge her phone, not sneaking around, trying not to wake us up. I feel she met someone on social media and was lured out. She isn't a girl that would be comfortable running around in her PJs and t-shirt like any teen. Her phone is her lifeline. We have checked with everybody, and you can see this is a dad who's writing this quickly. Exotic prayer, I'm so happy you made it. And I've been having great talks back and forth with Exotic on this. Yeah, no shoes again. And by the way, Exotic, I'm trying to put together a list of questions. I don't know if I'll get verified, but we'll see. And so in the bushes, hello girl, how you doing? But you can look at this. He's writing this stream of consciousness. And sometimes that does lead to some of the miscommunication and misinformation because people put periods where they might not be or things like that. And that can change a sentence dramatically. And it looked like she possibly had got, yes. Okay, you know what? After I finish this up, I'll show you guys the video. So those of you who have not seen the video, we can go back and watch that video. So they checked with everybody in the area, her old coach, old softball teammates, everyone. Okay, stepdad is like, I put in 1,000 miles alone on my truck driving the streets. Her mom and older sister have logged just as many along with her aunts, uncles, grandparents, bio dad. Plus, we have passed out or hung over 800 flyers. This is all in the first few days, okay, of being on the internet with things, and chased every tip, which have been few down. Okay. Teen, though, she could have had other. Yeah. Now, BC, this is one of the thoughts with this. And again, maybe she did have something she left at the house. Her family have said that everything was still packed in the car. Okay. The car still had everything in it for the trip to Texas. So they had everything that they needed for the night, okay, or for a day or two type thing, but everything else was left in the car, including all the rest of her shoes. And the shoes she had been wearing were left at the house, from my understanding. And yeah, definitely. In fact, let me pull that up right now. And so that's what he put out initially. I've got two other text messages that I will share with you guys right after that. But oh my gosh, my little dog will not shush for anything in the world. Okay, I am not going to play the audio on this. You guys can rewatch it with the audio because it really will kill your ears at a certain point. I think I shut that video down. So up there it is. Okay. So let me see here. There's a baby crying in it that just kills your ears, but basically you hear her walking around and all that. So this is the video itself. So this is okay, Estefani. This is what she was wearing when she went missing. Okay, pajamas, okay, pajama plaid pajama bottoms, okay, top, all that. She's playing around with her phone. You can see underneath is like a PlayStation or something like that. And she's trying to charge stuff. And it looks like they only had like the one cord, which is why it does make sense. She might have been looking for something else. Let me go through and play this. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say before we did play this is this video was also one of the things that led to a lot of the misinformation initially. I think the family, there isn't a lot of video camera around the house. From what I've heard for this neighborhood, because it's such a bad neighborhood, video cameras get pulled down a lot. And that might explain a lot of stuff. The other is it is exactly as BC just said. It's been edited. Okay, what they did is they took this video and they took video from inside the house and they clipped it together in a bunch of different clips. It kind of looks like it's one long stream. No, it's kind of all in Hawaii, we would say kapakahi. It's all mixed up. Okay. And then what added to the confusion is when when it was put together, they covered the timestamp accidentally because they wanted to make sure that the other people laying in the bed, the chair up here, you can kind of see up here, there's a chair. Whoopsie, up here is a chair, and there's people in the chair at one point, and they didn't want that person being shown and all. So when it was covered, okay, it said person in chair, but that also happened to cover the timestamp, which caused issues. So just wanted to have all that shared out first on that. But you see her with her phone, and yes, it looks like there's some lights popping on and off on her phone. You can see the dog. The dog's very happy, sleeping. This is 3 in the morning, 3:15 in the morning. Dog is extremely happy. Dogs move now, so see, you can tell different. She's got her flashlight on, and there's, I don't know, I do know Apple takes photos from the front every 5 seconds, but that was almost like the flashing. You know how some of our flashlights, you can get a flashing version? I kind of got the feeling that's what that was here. Yeah, BC in the bushes and Seal are in detention. And also, so she goes, plugs it in, puts it down. Okay, now you see TV jumps on at some point here, and hey Robbie, how you doing, my dear? Love you. So now she's trying to get more things plugged in, her earbuds. I think that looks like earbuds, but trying to find plugs for everything is what's going on. And now it starts repeating. And also, I think, yeah, it's now in the repetition. I did not realize when I cut it down that I cut it a little longer also. And also, but it gives you an idea what was happening that night. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And that's why I think the family and so many people are saying, did she go outside? Could she have run away? Okay. Could she have gone outside to meet someone and walked away and then something happened? Video footage wise on the outside, there is only one video camera on the outside of the house. I've heard different things. Up to now, I always thought the front door, and I've started hearing now people saying, no, they might have heard it was here, they might have heard it was there, but initially everything I was hearing was the front door had a video camera. It was the type that would actually audibly say, you are being recorded, type thing. Okay, however, the side and the back had no cameras. And that's the way they suspect she went out, was through the back or something where there was no camera. Okay, but again, their thought is, was it a runaway? Was it she was looking for a cord because she couldn't find enough cords or power things? She doesn't seem nervous. She's not in a hurry. Okay, it looks like she's just literally like, oh God, where am I going to find another cord? Okay, okay, wait, nope. Now I got to get my earbuds. Now, where do I find a charger for my earbuds? That's what I see here. Is a girl getting ready to go to sleep. And that's why the answer of her going out to her car for the power cord honestly made so much sense to me initially. Kids are going fast. Yeah, it's sad that they're not getting to enjoy what I remember getting to enjoy because they are growing up so much faster now. And also, but yeah, it does not seem anything like that. So that's the footage. And a lot of things there. Could she have been getting Snapchats, things like that? From what I have heard, family have looked at her phone because her phone was left there again. Okay, you can look there. She has socks on. She's not barefoot. She does have socks on. Um, but she doesn't look like she's like, okay, I got to get things set. I got to do that. I mean, what she's doing right now does not look like someone who's setting up to run away to me. And all. So, okay, so let me bring this back for us here and go to the, okay, I kind of showed you guys that area. These are two other comments that her dad posted now. Missing people in America was a huge help. Okay, once they realized that this family needed the additional help and getting the word out, they started putting together posters and all that. Of course, we ran into the issue with different dates and things like that. But so he was responding. But Lioness is saying she did not look like she was planning anything. She would have had better. Yeah, that's my thought. Something different. Okay, been wearing something else. Things like that. This is okay. David is her dad. Okay. This is her dad. She was last seen on our interior camera trying to charge her phone. We never saw her exit the house. We assume she went out to the. Actually, I'm going to stop that because actually, BC, that's the one question that's been in the back of my head, too. The car should have been locked, I would think also, which would lead me in the problem solving side of my mind to thinking, are they missing a set of keys? Because that would, now again, that actually could rule that one part out. Maybe she wasn't going to the car at all, because that is a great point. It's a bad area. I definitely would have had my house okay locked up. I don't think we've heard anything about her having a purse or anything on, so having a set of keys, she wouldn't have had the keys anyhow, to be honest. Um, and so yeah, it's, and that's the thing. As parents, at the beginning, their focus is just trying to think of all the different possibilities out there. And their hope is that the police are ruling things in or out. And the problem is the police are not really giving any responses or follow ups. I mean, one post and that's it when she was first reported missing. There's no updates or anything like that. Now, I understand how many other runaways are in town. Do they report on every single one? No, but at least to the family. Give the family some update. Take the phone, because I agree, Lioness, something's not right here. Something is not right here, guys. Okay, no matter what it is. Who was home that night? Okay, from my understanding, and guys, I know there's a couple of you guys who've been following this with me, and with me getting sick last week, my mind went kind of blah blah. And was the phone on a different charger? I just wonder if she grabbed while going. She was great. That's where my concern was. Was she going out there? But then she should have had a key to get in the car to get the charger. Okay, unless was she thinking she was going to go out? Okay, was there someone who had ill will on her back when she lived in Oklahoma City? And when they realized that she was back in town, they're like, well, this is my last time to be able to pull something off. Those are all speculations. And also, but who was there that night? Mom, stepdad. I think a sister was there, if I understand. Does anyone remember who else, if there was anyone else there? I'm going to add that to my list. Who was at home that night? Who was in the house? Sorry, writing that down. Okay. That's been added onto the list also for me to verify that one also. If anyone else has any ideas on that, let me know. So this is her dad. She was last seen on our interior camera trying to charge her phone. We never saw her exit the house. We assumed she went out the side entrance to retrieve a charger because she was having trouble charging her phone. Video shows her frustrated with it, and you could see the frustration in her. Okay, you could see that I kind of saw a 12-year-old who's like, damn, I just want to go to, okay, I want to get done with the night. It's 3:15 in the morning, trying to charge everything, and you're in those last couple minutes and you're like, okay, come on, I just want to get this charged so I can go to bed type thing. It is just okay. The one sister lives there with the kids. Okay, thank you. It's not confirmed, but it's been said that yes, and that is tied to one of the other areas that we will get to also, which is the RSO side, because I do know that's also part of this picture right now also. um let's see. She was wearing red and black plaid PJ bottoms and a t-shirt that had been determined to be gray. Night vision on the cameras throws off the colors we discovered just this morning. So see, that's what I meant at the beginning. We get all of this initial craziness with information coming through. Anytime there's a big news breaking story, things like that. Okay, things move quickly and you don't realize what you're missing until you get it shown right in front of your face like this. Okay, picking a color on night vision not easy. Okay, they discovered this morning that she was barefoot as her Crocs were found in the house by her brother, and all other shoes and clothes were locked in the back of our truck as we were traveling from Arkansas to the beach and stopped at our home in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, to spend the night. They moved from to Arkansas in September of 2023, with the children making the move on January. So it looks like some of the adults, maybe stepdad, maybe moved. And then the rest of them, once kids got done with the semester of school, that's when she moved up. She has never ran away from home. She left the house in December of 2023, again, right before they had to move, for 2 hours without permission. Not something I would consider as a runaway. Okay, but she did go to a boy's house. Yes. Is that the first place we looked? Yes. So that there, and then the next one. Our daughter is a good kid and barely did anything without her family short of basketball and softball. And even then, she was with responsible adults and teammates we trusted. After 6 days and plenty of time to go through the phone, we feel she was lured outside by someone she met on social media and abducted. There has been no presence of her on Instagram or Snapchat, which were her two main ways of communicating. And no one has seen or heard from her family or friends. What teen or adult, for that matter, runs away without any shoes or clothes, or for any teen, their lifeline's their phone? And that's, even if she had run away, guys, she's back in her hometown. Okay, consider she goes and runs away or something like that. Friends are going to know. And yeah, friends might keep it quiet for a certain amount of time, but at some point things would start coming out, I think. And it's just something does not feel right on this case. This does not feel like a runaway. Okay, especially the longer it goes on. Now, to address what exotic popped up here. One of the things that has been coming up is that the brother-in-law, okay, or sister's boyfriend, I've heard both terms used here, is an RSO, okay, registered sex offender. I'm going to say something here, guys. That is a red flag. Hell yeah, that's a red flag. But I am going to say this. That's what the police need to be looking into. There are a lot of RSOs out there. Being an RSO does not automatically make you guilty of murdering a child or whatever people are thinking. It does become a red flag that law enforcement needs to look into and question and stuff like that. Definitely. And but one of the things I've seen a lot of people do is they immediately take this and jump to here. And I can understand the fear. Like I said, red flag. Yes, red flag. Okay, it's also a massive red flag that from what I'm hearing there is a lot of trafficking in that location. Big red flag there too. So there's a lot of and that's why I get frustrated with law enforcement, because I made this live as, when does advocacy and awareness clash? When can advocacy get in the way of awareness? Okay. What happens right now is this. If we've got so many people who are harassing family, okay, harassing the police station, and that's the thing, we don't know if they have or not. We don't know what they've done and what they haven't done. That's the problem. The police aren't talking. The police are still saying, oh, it's a runaway. The police are still saying it's a runaway thing. The police are not, okay, we don't know much of any of those things. To me, we hold the law enforcement responsible for doing an investigation. We contact the mayor and say, hey, why is her phone not being collected and looked at? This is a 12-year-old. It needs to be in police custody and have been looked through. What if she's been talking to someone who's been luring her? Okay, there's a lot of, okay, and I'm not saying, okay, RSO means nothing, because it does means. And but we can't get, sometimes what happens is when we see a red flag, we get so focused in on that one red flag that we forget all the other possibilities out there. And the case becomes about that one red flag. That's my issue. I have a I'm scared to death for her right now. I'm scared to death that she was talking. What if I mentioned this a few minutes ago? Okay, yeah, exactly, BC. We don't know what the circumstances are around that. Okay, there are different levels. Okay, I've had to do little research, and it's amazing. There are actually different levels. Okay, of, I don't want to say serious, because to me, serious is serious is serious, but it's kind of like, okay, so many other things in life. You run into different things. Okay. But in the end, what comes down to this, the police should have come in. The police should have interviewed every single family member, every single friend. We don't know if all that's been done. What if they went, because you know what? Families looked at her phone. Family has gone to her phone, as they said there, and gone through and looked and looked and looked. And they're like, we can't find anything where anything's been going on. What if there was a hidden app or something where she was talking to people, or the parents didn't know how to get to certain things? And there was someone who was trying to lure her away for how long? And then when they moved, they had to give up. And then all of a sudden, oh, she's back in town. There's too many different possibilities here. And we are so focused. The side of our brains that likes to solve these things, and that we don't like a question. None of us like a question, do we? We want an answer to every question. And so we're looking for the questions and all that. And over time, I've noticed when I go to, for example, Facebook groups, People have forgotten that this is about Estefani. People have forgotten. People are so focused on this person or that person or this person or that. Estefani is still missing. I agree with. I've honestly really wondered. I have honestly thought she. That's why I think the runaway side does have something to it, because I think she thought she was going to be meeting up with someone. This is just my speculation of speculations. Okay, she was going to meet up with someone. Okay, this is her hometown that she still holds close to her heart. Any of you who have moved away from somewhere know what that feels like. I grew up an army brat. I had to move all the time, and it was hard moving. So she comes back home. She gets connected back into someone. But if no one's looking at this, okay, why not take the phone with her? That's why I've wondered if the whole idea was she was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to just go outside, talk to someone real quickly. And she thought she was going to be coming back, and the person grabbed her. Okay. There's so many possibilities. And yes, this is what we all do privately behind the scenes. We talk about all these different ideas and all that, but we try not to allow it to get our mind off of why we are here to begin with, which is how many other stories have involved a teenager who was later trafficked, but they were a runaway. Um, that title, see, and that's the thing. BC, no, and that's the thing, and it's hard to say because I know even me, I want to be like, guys, there are cases, okay, and right is right, wrong is wrong, okay, and but we've got to. That's where the police. In fact, I've heard police actually say, okay, after talking to police about someone who was an RSO. Okay, they're the ones who told me, no, you know what? There are different cases. This is actually not what a lot of us, but it's just the way things work out. Okay, and once you find out the whole story, like BC is saying, and so, or it could be something that's much worse. We don't know. I don't know. Okay, all I know is Estefani's missing, and whether it was that or whether it was some guy who or girl or whatever, because girls traffic girls. Okay, and yeah, BC, that's the. I could honestly see her if she was going to be running away, not taking the phone with her. In fact, I would have been surprised if she had taken the phone with her, if she was going to run away. But what I don't see is her making a point of charging her earbuds and her phone and all these other things if she knew she was going to run away. That's what I don't see. And those are the little things that get me. Um, I wonder what the parents found in the phone that makes them, yeah. And that's the thing. And this is my issue now. The family came online. They did not have to come to social media. They reported her missing. Okay. They came to social media to ask for help finding their daughter. Okay. That's something a lot of people are, honestly, yeah, it's sad. I hate having to address that because of the fact that I am Haole. Oh, sorry. In Hawaii, Haole white. Okay, it's the term. And um, but it's true. I hate to say it, but it's true. We see it too much. Okay. And sometimes it's because law enforcement is just so busy, but you know what? I don't care how busy. It's like a teacher. Teachers are so overworked, so underpaid. They have so many kids and all that, but they are responsible for those children. And I know amazing teachers who are like, yep, I know, but it's what I chose to do, and I'm going to be doing the damn best job I can. And that's how it is with police. You just got to do the best thing that you can. And come out and talk. If you need extra help from the community, come out to the community and ask. That's my thing. How many other runaways are in that area that are not being looked at? And Right now, the family, and they come out to Facebook and they ask for help. All these little inconsistencies pop up, and people see inconsistencies a lot of time with red flags because a lot of times they are red flags. Okay, when you're looking at cases and all, and something that's an inconsistency can be a red flag. Flat out, yeah. But sometimes an inconsistency is just that. It's a coincidence that happened. Okay, like the date she went missing. Okay, let me pull this up and show you guys. One of the biggest arguments that was happening on Facebook is, well, the family must be behind it because the date was wrong on the missing poster. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me on some of these things. People take things, yeah, Seal. People take things so freaking literally. It's just okay. Here, let me find number. This one here. Okay, this is literally a whole thread that had to be made about 3 different dates in the poster. Like I said, I've had to redo this poster 3 times. That's not abnormal. For those of us who redo, I don't know if Arctic is still in here. Arctic, how many times do you find yourself having to redo a poster because information comes out and is clarified? And so people started going into this. Oh, wait, we've got the 12th, the 13th, the 14th. What are the dates? Well, you came down in here and bingo, BC just hit it. One of the biggest issues right here. It was right here. The family did it. Okay, I'm convinced. People, oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. I just noticed. Ah, come on. Why is this not sharing that one right? Okay, let me do that again and reshare this. Okay, now that I shared the thing, you guys can actually see it better. Okay, perfect. There. Okay, so yeah, middle of the night changes this for us all the time. But so we're here, and you got people already in here. Oh, yeah, family did it. Missing people in America actually had to come in here and tell people family put out the wrong date. They sent us over ring footage for us to post. After requesting it, we posted it unedited. They immediately asked us to cover up the people in house, which blocked out the timestamp that we didn't know existed. The next day, our team was going over unedited footage, thus realizing the timestamp. We then informed the family that they put out the wrong date. Okay, we then made a new post showing the community with the timestamp visible. Despite this, thousands of people viewed it, not noticing the timestamps, just like us. And it's just, and even still, after that, I mean, I even posted in this somewhere saying, guys, this stuff happens in a lot of these cases. Okay. Yeah. When you add ish to a time, I feel like I have to put ish behind everything nowadays. And so the 3 a.m. did, there we go. Those of you guys who know me, there we are right there. Sometimes, oftentimes, different dates and other misstated information is posted. You have no idea how often I see information. Wrong dates, heights, weights, eye color. I mean, the number of times I see the wrong height or weight is ridiculous. It happens. And it's not proof that the family did it. It is just now, yes, some coincidences or some inconsistencies can be a red flag. And you look for a multitude of red flags. But again, why is this even something we're looking at? For one reason and one reason only: this young girl, right? That's what we got to look at. You got a family right now who is trying to, they're getting phone calls, they're getting threats, they're getting all the stuff that is done to families in cases like this. And yet they they just want her home. Okay, they're scared. What if they did a GoFundMe or something? How many times we look at families who will do a GoFundMe for a PI or reward money? Okay, they have to do those things because it's expensive. Even just looking at posters, every poster is 7 to 10 cents a piece, unless they're being donated. Okay, yeah, and that's it, exotic. For every one person who comments on hearsay, 50 others go running with it. And in the meantime, you've got a family who would like to do stuff so that they could find their daughter, their sister, and everyone's more focused at pointing the fingers. And so that's I just it drives me crazy. Let me ask you guys, okay, did you guys have any other kinds of questions? Because like I said, okay, yeah, questions are important. The more facts we get out there, the better. And I want to make sure that one of the things I always say to people when I talk to families that watch this is if you catch anything that I'm wrong on here, please let me know because I need to get that corrected. So I will update a poster 3 or 4 times to get the right information. I hear it should instantly. Yes. 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 Um, so yeah, it's really I'm hoping they'll find I do think this is one of those cases that if the police aren't going to step up, the family's going to have to hire a PI sooner or later because she's out there and I'm worried she is another one of these cases right here that I opened up the whole live about. That's my fear that she's another one of these. She's another one of the girl from Logansport who was found near Hannibal, Missouri. Yes. I and see that's the thing what I'm noticing. Well, I'm very careful. I'm so careful when I'm on Facebook nowadays. Um People come on and we aren't always sure exactly is it a real that's why anonymous if someone posts something as anonymous, I usually will take it with a grain of salt because hell, I can go post anything I want anonymously and no one holds me responsible for it because they don't know it's me. And so I no. I do know there was an uncle who made some claims and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember where that was. Let me see if I can find it real quickly. Um, but again, what we do have also here, gang, humans are humans. And even in when you have a family member who is missing, personal, I don't want to say grudges, but personal backstories, anger, frustrations, things like that. There's a reason why when a mom and dad have a child who's murdered or goes missing, many of them end up divorced within the first year or two. We all know that, okay, statistic out there. One of the main reasons is people start pointing fingers and questioning this or that, or if they had think, fear, anger in their head about something, this becomes the way to put it out. And that's why I always watch when I do see these things from people who say they are family members. I'm trying to find that post. I came across it. I know there's 2 different Facebook groups. I'm trying to find which one that was in. Sorry guys, if anyone sees that, let me know. I'll try to pull it up. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Actually, I should probably check to see if it's even an uncle. So I'll let you know. Actually, I'll do some research. We can talk about that in Discord actually, because I do want to make sure that is an actual uncle and not just someone saying they are. Because I've also noticed people are using this case as a way of shaming people, okay, and making pretty derogatory comments about anyone. Um, there's some words for it that I don't want to use out here, but making comments about, well, her sisters look like this and this person looks like that and stuff like that. And I'm really having problems with that because this is not about them. Okay. In fact, they're worried about her. So maybe we need to be as worried about her and stop pointing fingers at other people. Yeah, I'm trying not to use the words, but there's a lot. Yeah, you notice the new true crime followers started around Keely, and Gabby, a much younger. Yeah. And I think different generations look at this stuff differently, honestly. Um, we just look at life differently. Um, I'm trying to see here. Okay, it might not be that Facebook group. Okay, let me do here. I have both of them. Sorry, I'm looking for anything I can find that's come up since then. Um, but I know right now, how would you like being family, Estefani's family? I think the large majority of people truly they're here for Estefani. It's not pointing fingers at the family. It's not doing all that stuff. Okay. In fact, in my eyes right now, they're victims also because they're victims of their loved one being missing. Okay. And the hurt that they go through, the fear, every moment of the day, wondering what's going on. Yeah. Oh, be very, very happy. I mean, I'm really, some of what I've been reading right now is really, really pissing me off. Yeah. There's a culture of people that join groups to be adversaries. That's it exactly. I remember there used to be a YouTube creator who will remain nameless right now, who used to actually take the opposite side in, okay, opposite than the popular thought or even real thought. Okay, just because they wanted to be adversarial and because it brought drama for them. And that's exactly what it is. It's trolling, but not there's different types of trolls. And also my Windows security is saying you don't have any viruses. Thank you, Windows security. And it's just definitely one of those things that I don't know if it's a different generation or if it's different cultures or um but some of the good stuff that came out of this now though is we've got multiple groups who are helping support us. What I want though is the family. That's what I was trying to get to. The family, I you can read their comments at times. The family, when a family tells says this, they wish they had never come to the internet. Okay, that's so sad because we're here to help advocate. We're here to help bring awareness. Even if you're not an advocate, you're here to bring awareness, not to tear people down. And if a family literally gets to the point where they're like, damn, I wish we had just done this on our own and not even asked for help for it. And that is just so sad when you have family members saying, okay, I hope no one ever has to go through what we've had to go through just by coming to the internet. Yeah, and they do sabotage cases. People who play these games, they truly, truly do. Trying to see if I can find anything else. Sometimes our frustrations, yourself included, instead of taking deep breaths, speak before. Yes. And that's the thing. All of us I'm jumping to conclusions on things. It's normal. It's normal to jump to conclusions and speculate and all. What I sometimes think families, and I've tried to explain this to families before, when their loved one who has gone missing or whatever kind of enters our life, not live, but life as missing, we do start caring about them. Okay, there's a reason why we donate. There's a reason why we, okay, share pictures out. There's a reason why we go to virtual memorials. Okay, there is a reason. Right now, Gianna, I'm finding out that Gianna has not had a memorial service yet. And I'm talking to a few people locally here in Hawaii, and we're going to put together a memorial for her when I get back from vacation. Okay, there's a reason we've never met these people, but we care about them. We truly care about them. And I think that's what's hard sometimes for family to see because family are like, you guys don't even know my loved one. How can you care about? But we do. We do. Um, and then because of that, we want the same answers they want. The difference is we aren't owed those answers. We'd like those answers and they're nice to have, but we're not owed them. They need to keep pushing from that's where I think the answer is to this. They need to get onto the mainstream ones, News Nation. They need to get okay, Nancy Grace. They need to get the bigger, okay, Brian, all those, okay, they're in that central time zone area where they should be able to pull that off because those people are going to come at it from a different area and it's going to shut down the assholes, to be honest. Yes, they're all assholes are always going to be there, but it will at least let them know that they're not alone because I think this family is feeling like no one really does care for Estefani. Okay. And that's sad. I'm so upset about that. That poor girl. I feel like no one, yeah. And so it's just, and still to this day, there's not a lot of coverage on Estefani. Even though almost every single person who hears this case thinks something bad is happening here, it's not being covered. Okay, it's been about a week since anyone's really done anything about it. And all. And I think that's why what BC, what you said makes the difference. They do need to get onto, okay, national media for that. Because I don't want to add one more person to that whole list, okay, that I had the other day of all of those runaways that turned out were trafficked or killed. And because people are just taking them as runaways. It's just no, not good. So hopefully I do need to share out this new poster with the new day the date updated in there. And hopefully someone out there knows something. If she initially did try talking with maybe a friend, if you have a chance, I know on some of the Facebook groups they've been posting the mayor's contact information. Ask the mayor to have the police do a very detailed, take her phone, look through her phone, just those basics. Okay, that's all that matters. So if you guys can help me in getting that word out, if you guys have any questions you want me verified, I'm going to try to get, did law enforcement officially not come to the home? And who was in the house completely? I will see if I can get answers to those two questions. So, but other than that, I will see y'all on Wednesday. I think we're over at Sleuth's channel this week. I think something like that. I'll have to ask Sleuth. Keep easy, work. And I'm here this week and next week, and then I'm gone on vacation. But I did just talk to Norwegian Cruise Lines, and I will have my internet hopefully up and running so I can update you guys about all the fun I'm doing. So thank you, Exotic, and thank you actually for this morning talking back and forth. I enjoy that. Will do, my dear. I definitely will. And also, oh, I just see what you did. Okay, you know what? Let me see real quickly. Let me put my membership real quick for you guys. Oh, wait, that won't do that. Let me get membership here. Oh, wait, there it is right there. If you could see, anyone looking for memberships, if you click on the link that just popped up right here, that will go to a membership thing. I think that's where I didn't get to read the whole thing. If I misread things, you got, and I just noticed who you are. Hey, my dear. I like the name, by the way. And also, and again, yeah, Exotic, thank you so much for that. And members, we will definitely be doing fun while I am on that cruise. I just booked for I think the Blue Lagoon, which is the thermal springs. I mean, the literal thermal springs really close to the volcano that was going off. So I don't know what happens there. Hopefully no volcano going off while I'm there. And, but I can't wait, especially knowing Loco is used to 80-degree weather, and it literally just snowed a few weeks ago. Okay, so Reykjavik area. So this could get very interesting. So, but I hope y'all have an amazing time, and I will see you Wednesday. And thank you guys so much for talking with me during the chats and stuff. And I'm sorry for last week. Oh, one last thing. If you hear any updates on cases, I know BC's awesome at this. Chris is awesome with this. A lot of you are awesome at updating me with cases that have updates. Please let me know about that because on Fridays, I do want to keep that. I know I was sick on Friday, but I'd like, sorry, my mom, there was a loud bang in there. And I was like, oh, mom fell 2 days ago. She fell and has not been feeling good since. So I wanted to make, no, she just dropped stuff. So I've got to clean things up, I have a feeling. So, but I want to do that news type update. So every week we'll know some of what's been happening. So let me know. Okay, send me to email or whatever any updates you guys have, and I'll make sure to update people on those things. So anyhow, aloha, and I'll talk to you later. Aloha, mahalo, and have a good week.